and welcome back. In this video we're going to talk a little bit about sidebars and widgets. This is yet another fundamental part of WordPress that you might need to understand that you maybe have never understood. So when I speak of a sidebar in WordPress, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be on the side of a page. Sidebars can be on the side of the page, but they could also be in a header. They could also be at the very foot of a website. And often sidebars are used in those types of ways. There are even times where I've seen web developers build out an entire website using nothing but sidebars. Okay? Now, widgets go hand in glove with sidebars as well, because the widgets are tiny pieces of code go inside of the sidebar, and boom, that widget allows people to, or it allows web developers or the people who are setting up their own website to have this type of custom functionality, whether it be a calendar or a listing of events. Those things are usually widgets. So I'm just going to read the definitions out of the codex, and also have the links here, and then we'll walk through working with a widget. So sidebars, basically vertical column. It said vertical here, but this is from the codex, and it could be updated to say that they're not only vertical. Sidebars are vertical columns provided by a theme for displaying information other than the main content of a web page. Themes usually provide at least one sidebar at the left or the right of the content. Sidebars usually contain widgets that an administrator of the site can customize. So widgets are very customizable. There are billions of widgets out there, and they're great ways to add content to your website or little pieces of functionality, all types of great things. Widgets. WordPress widgets add content and features to your sidebars. Examples are the default widgets that come with WordPress for categories, tag cloud, search, etc. Plugins will often add their own widgets. So in order to get to this area where you control sidebars and widgets, you need to navigate to Appearance, Widgets. We're going to go there now. So here on the sidebar of the administrative area, we're going to go to Appearance, and then Widgets are right here. If I click on that, it brings me to this area. And these little blocks on the right side are what you would consider the current sidebars of a website, of this website. So right now we have a current sidebar, just one sidebar, so that's obviously a global sidebar. And then we also have a footer. So we got a sidebar and a footer. So these are two sidebars. This is the sidebar, and then this is the footer sidebar. That's kind of the technical way that you can say it. Now, each one of these little blocks represent a widget that is within this sidebar. If I move it, then the website recognizes that their things are happening on this area, and these are drag and drop. Here on the left side in this area, you can actually manage your widgets, and you can look at what's available. We got archives, which are the monthly archive of your site's posts. We have the breadcrumb navxt. It adds a breadcrumb trail to your sidebar. We have categories, calendar, layout builder, all types of great sidebars. And some of these sidebars are added by default, as the document said, and then some of these sidebars, or some of these widgets, should I say, are added through plugins. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back out to our website, and this is where we left off previously. And we're going to look on the left side. We have a sidebar here on the left side. I want to change to make this sidebar go to the right side. So what I'll do is go to Edit Page, and I'll change the page template, because there is a default template. And when I update that, then I can view the page. And this default template gives me a sidebar on the right. So there would be content on this left area. And this is my sidebar. This is the left sidebar. And let's look at this. Recent posts, recent comments. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over search. So search, recent posts, recent comments, archives. This should be reflected in the back end. And if I come up here, I see search, recent posts, recent comments, archives. That's how I know I'm dealing with the correct sidebar. Now, if I wanted to rearrange these widgets in the sidebar, I could actually just drag one above the other, and that loading symbol told me that the website recognized this widget was moved and things should change. If I go out to the front page, I can press refresh, and I just refresh from my keyboard. Now I see recent posts are above the search area. So this is how you would work with sidebars. And then the widgets, each one of these widgets, very similar to the navigation, has a drop down area on the right end. And I can choose what to label this. Instead of recent post, I can say latest post. Latest post. And if I save this, then if I go out here to the front end, instead of this recent post, and I click refresh, that changes to latest post. And this is how I begin to manage the sidebar and widget content. I could choose to display the date of the post and the number of posts to show. So this page also has the screen options, just like everything else. And it only has one option, and that's enable accessibility mode, which we can click on just to give you an opportunity to see. And accessibility mode gives you more options, gives you the ability to add things from the sidebar like this. And I could put a title on it, and I could choose which sidebar in this new menu. So this is the widget archives. Maybe I don't want to title it, but I want to display it as a drop down. And then I don't want to show post count, so I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to select which sidebar to put it on. I could put it on this one, and it allows me to choose with a radio button, or I could put it at the footer, or I can put it in inactive widgets. So I'll put it there, and then the position is going to be which widget is it going to appear, but is it going to be in the first position at the very top? Let's just do that. And so now we should have a widget archive show up at the very top. So I save the widget, and widget archives shows up here at the top. And if I go back, latest post should be right underneath widget archive when I refresh. There we go. So we got our archives set up. If I wanted to allow my website visitors to go through my archives with this particular widget, they'll be able to do that. So this is just a recap of the sidebars in widgets. Let's just for the heck of it, right now I'm going to add a new widget to this footer area. What I'm going to do first is turn off the accessibility mode, because I want to be able to drag and drop. And I'll add a categories widget to this area. I can give it a title that's different than category, or I'll just leave it like this. I can show the post count, how many posts are in each category, and I could show the hierarchy of each category. I'm not going to do any of that because we don't have any categories in this blog. So I'll save that. And then I'll come out to the page, and now I should see a footer widget once I press refresh. And there we have it. Categories is now in the footer, and that is through my footer widget. Okay. The final thing is we're going to click on Manage with Live Preview. If I click on Manage with Live Preview, then it's going to take me to the customizer. And you've seen this before, and it gives you the ability from the customizer to manage these widgets and your sidebars in a very live mode to where you can automatically see the changes. So what I've done is I clicked over to widgets, so that is one option here on the side of the customizer. Click on widgets, and then I'll click on footer, And I'll just delete this most recent widget that I put there directly from here. Once I press remove, the screen refreshes and it's removed that widget. And I can do that for any number of widgets. If I come in like this, I can do that for all of these widgets. All the ones that I don't want to have on the sidebar. If I wanted to, I could remove all of them. So this is the way you can manage your widgets, and there are several options. If you manage them from the customizer, always remember to save and publish. And then when you go out to your website, you can press refresh. And once you refresh, your website is going to reflect exactly what you've just done. It's going to refresh all the progress that you've made. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please contact myself through the website, and hope to talk to you soon. See you in the next video.